Margaret in Windsor, and I've just put up two videos that would prove what I've been saying about I'm Queen Victoria II, Margaret in Windsor. My father's Edward VIII, illegally taken down. Uh, and I am legal heir. This was taken into court back then by my father, and history was changed. Lies were told. I'm just going to give this bit, and then I'm going to finish with the other uh, two tapes. This is my dad who never married Wallace Simpson. He married Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. All this has been covered up. A double and imposter married Wallace. Larry Flint, I did a book in Georgia before I found out about being kidnapped. And Larry Flint was shot during that time, March the 6th of 78, and I'm living at Moonraker Apartments off Delk Road. And I will go ahead and say this. Mr. Flint flew me out there, and he endorsed me when I ran for U.S. Congress, and I'm leaving out the hell that was done to me in between. I had antifreeze April the 1st of 80 with a letter from the FBI that didn't do me any good. Ongoing investigation, national security involved. Anyway, Mr. Flint, I was flown out there. I'd never met him, but I knew that was a mind control program murder to shoot him and kill his attorney. He furnished me a car for a year, and I didn't see him again. Now, this is April of 84. He endorsed me for the presidency. He said in the endorsement, I knew who was responsible for his shooting in Lawrenceville, Georgia. This is a family where I was taken, given the name of Peggy. I think this was 43. I was kidnapped and brought there in 41. This is my uncle planning my kidnapping with the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers, and the Kennedys, who was appointed ambassador to England 36 till they kicked him out in 46. This is Elizabeth's father, illegal George VI, who helped kidnap me with ILLUMINATI. It controls everything, your press and everything now, and Hillary's a part of it. And this is Elizabeth who's a part. All your presidents have been other than Jimmy Carter, as far as I know. But these are the birth certificates, and I'm not going to show them again. I've showed them enough. I'm going to see if I can get this next on. I've told everybody that both the twins were dead. They were killed by their mother, born out of wedlock. Now, I'm going to go to this last part. I've been going, walking, freezing, starving. I was shut down. And came to Roanoke was shut down before then, really. With antifreeze, and that doesn't cure easy. I had brain damage, should have died. It was a living, walking hell, plus what they were doing to me. And I'd worked for the district attorney Simpson in 80, and I was shut down again in 82. And I put this up about the FBI, the letter, and what they said to me. But up here in Virginia, the Virginia Tech shootings was mind control. One of them, and you've got the Tucson, Arizona with Gabby Gifford and Mark and the twins, Mark Kelly she's married to, and Scott Kelly that was just up on the space station and came down. Those murders were done in patterns. And twins, I was taken to Moulton, Alabama, Lawrence County, and given the name of a twin, Peggy, when they were both dead. The name I still have to use. So I'm not going to go any further now on that. I want to go to this. Last year, they've used antifreeze. Well, antifreeze was put in me back then, April Fool's Day of 80. I'm allergic to chemicals. And the law enforcement, and I'm going to mention Carl Barton again, he's a retired Virginia State Trooper. As far as I know, he's probably the good guy in this. But they told me back in August 14th, he and his wife, Linda, and she even gave me her address and those stickers that you put on your letters or whatever. It gives the address and phone number. I've never put their phone number up or their address, I don't believe, just their names. But anyway, she said to me, she said, this is how we run you with chemicals because I have the immune disorder. I'm allergic to chemicals. My immune system kicks in, starts attacking itself. And over the years, the inflammation has torn me apart because it's been deliberate. You try telling people around here or Huntsville, Alabama, I go back there. I'm run back here. I make myself leaving and coming back, so to speak. So now I want to get to this because this is the one that would prove if there was ever any doubt about me telling the truth about the patterns and mind control. Last year I went back out on the old trail off the Mountain Pass Road. That's the entrance that I went up and down all those years since '92. Froze and starved and nobody would help. Um, so I got up there and they come after with me burning formaldehyde, which just kills me. And I tried moving. I'm 77 years old. Moved my tent up the trail. Well, they had fixed it so that I couldn't get up, even up the trail, to where I camped at times. And I went all over there trying to live. Apple Orchard Fall, all down through North Creek and all of it, and on the trail. And anyway, to make a long story short, they made it so bad the days I was there, I fell and busted the rotary in my arm, both arms really. But the lady came up on the trail, Angela, and I'm going to make it short because she came back and got my gear, and I had the money to get a place that day. And she brought me back to Roanoke. Now I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip back to January the 1st. I had a reason to call her again because I moved around. I'm made to move with the chemicals, and I get so sick. I go, and it's just from one place to the other. They run me. So I called her, and she brought me back out here, out of Roanoke, about 11 miles away, Mountain Pass Road in Troutville, Botetourt County. And she took me to her home. I checked in and had a place to pay for the week, and by the week, and she took me out to her home, which shocked me. It's a half mile down from the entrance where I always went and where I met her last year on the old Appalachian Trail. And all those years I went up that way to Full Heart Knob and all through there on the trail and froze and starved. So it shocked me. I'd met her last year, and I just knew her name was Angela. She lives half a mile down toward the Parkway entrance um, in a beautiful home there. And that's when I found out that her last name was Queen. And I thought, here I'm running around telling everybody I'm the Queen of England legally, and I am. And isn't that a coincidence that I find it out now? And then she introduced me to her two adopted daughters, which is Samantha, and you should know where that name fits in, very prominent in this whole thing, and Rose. And their biological daughter, they're not her biological daughters. They are biological sisters. Their last name was Castle, both of them, before they were adopted Queen. That's the last name of Angela, Queen, and Brett that own the home. My point is that, well, then Rose married Nathan, not the Nathan that I'm talking about that helped me with rides so long, about 6 years. And I saw him last year right after I met Angela on the trail. I've never seen Nathan again. It's the name game, the synchronicity, and all of that that's involved. But my point in this is that they didn't just buy that house. They moved from Asheville, I believe, North Carolina 4 years ago. They didn't just buy that house. It wasn't a coincidence, all that mess. And their son, Alex, goes to Liberty University, and there's a timeline in there that happened on the 9th of this month that is really weird because I was over at her house that night. She went to Lynchburg, where Jerry Falwell Liberty University is, to see her son Alex. Now, that morning when she had come and got me and brought me back out here, and I spent the night in her home, and that is when Dylan Engel fell at Apple Orchard Fall. He's a student at Liberty and died. So you have to know where Apple Orchard fits in and the rest of it. It fits in like a puzzle in the timeline. But now I'm going to go to this. Angela's husband works for a cement company. And she had taken me over to Motel 6, and it gets involved in the Shaws and the Patels. And God knows they own everything around here, and their friends, Goodlatte and John Edwards and the former Mark Warner and all that, the former governors here. So it gets a mess if you start putting their names up. But they're part of who ran me here. They own everything around here now. motels, everything. Charlottesville, North Carolina, a community